take us through.
Last time we looked at modal verbs. We looked at verbs, types of verbs, auxiliary verbs, and what modal verbs are, and you explained that they examples of modal verbs could be can, may, or will, and that a modal verb is an auxiliary verb. Like in simple terms, a modal verb is an auxiliary verb that's used to express modality. Then the meaning of modality is expressing how an action or state is done, like to me. Then there are perfect modals and everything, and you explained how each can be used for, let's say, regret. For like regret, like if the sentence could be showing regret if the action has already happened or if it hasn't happened, like either advising or you're regretting already.
Okay. Thank you very, very much. I hope others find time to go through what we did. We had some activity, one or two, but of course, we normally go through after giving the activity. I see, I don't know whether you pronounce it as Marilyn or Marilyn. How do you pronounce it? Yes, you are unmuted.
It's Marilyn. Okay, it has two pronunciations. For the activity, complete the sentences with a suitable modal together with the correct form of the verb in brackets. That was the wrong way to do it. You dash it like this, in brackets do. What I wrote is you should have done it like this. There were several possibilities. We dash a similar one, for example, in brackets by.
Can you say for
there
example?
Were several possibilities.
Marilyn?
Yeah, for example.
Marilyn?
Yes.
It is for example, not for example.
E. Okay. For example, in brackets by, there were several possibilities. We would have bought a similar one, for example. I don't know what you will decide, but in your position, I dash to the meeting, in brackets, not go. I don't know what you will decide, but in your position, I would not go to the meeting. And that's where we ended.
Okay. So now, this morning, we are going to look at the future and the future continuous tenses. That's what we are going to look at. You could know that when we were talking about the model, we talked about model perfect verbs. So perfect. This time we are going to future and the future continuous. That's what we are looking at. And then I have some sentences on the blackboard. One is, I shall return your money tomorrow. One, I shall return your money tomorrow. And then number two says, I will return your money tomorrow. I will return money tomorrow. Can I have the difference between the two? Can I have the difference between the two? Okay. Kenya.
the first sentence has shall and the second sentence has will.
Come again. That is one. What's the difference between will and shall? That's what I'm looking at. Between will and shall. Akidi, you have been unmuted.
Shall means that they are not sure that they will be able to give them the money the next day. Then will means that they are sure they will give you the money the next day.
They are very sure. Let me have the last one. I hope you note on your device that I've unmuted you. Talk.
In shall, we use shall in future tense for I and will, for I and we, whereas we use will in future tense for we, they, for you, he, she.
Okay, now
He, it, and they.
What she's trying to say is this, that I and we will take shall. And then you, he, she, they will take will. That's what she's trying to say. This one here, you can be second person, singular, and second person, plural. When we come to he, she, these are different from this one and this one. Now, that is the rule with English language. That is the rule. But now you are going to realize that today, as we talk, the rule is fading. In modern English, there is no difference. There is no complete difference between shall and will. And we are going to look at how we can use will on I and we, and then will still on you and the rest. This is what we are going to look at today. Now, number one, we are saying, if you say, I shall return your money tomorrow. I shall return your money tomorrow. And then the one says, I will return your money tomorrow. You really see that we have used the I shall. We are using I will. So what is the difference? That's what we want to know now. Now, it is only those of us who are very rigid grammarians, from the word grammar, people who study grammar, who will not notice the difference. But we are now saying that we can still replace these ones before we get the reason why we use this one on I and we. We can still replace this these ones here with the infinitive. We have what we call future plus infinitive. I don't know whether you covered this, especially infinitive in your primary section. What do we refer to as infinitive? What do we refer to as infinitive? If they tell you to construct a sentence and then there is infinitive. So we are looking at Mukoda. Yes. Just one word to refer to infinitive. Paul, I have unmuted here, I thought. I'm listening. Can we go to another person? Patricia, I've unmuted you. Can you talk?
Yeah, one word to mean infinitive.
Come again. What are you asking?
Auntie, she's asking for one word to mean infinitive. I think endless.
Endless. Okay, thank you. Okay, infinitive meaning endless. You don't know when it will end, when it will happen. Is that very clear? Now, we are asking another question. which word can we use in a sentence? And you know the sentence is in infinitive form. Which word? We go to Gloria. We go to Gloria. Yes, Gloria.
Sorry, teacher, I left my hand up. I wanted to
You
answer
left your hand up,
infinitive.
and then now somebody, Bigama, can you tell us? Patricia, is the hand still up? I've unmuted Patricia, yes?
Teacher, to run.
Is that one word?
Run.
It is two.
Yes.
It is two.
Two.
That two,
Mommy.
that word two normally takes us to infinitive. Therefore, we can substitute these ones here, will and shall, using future plus infinitive. Now, what do I mean here? What I am trying to say is that you can also say going to. Going to. For example, I am going to pay your money tomorrow. That is now what we mean by future plus infinitive. Future is going, and then the infinitive is to. That one now tells us it is future plus infinitive. So when you use those sentences there, going to plus, say, going plus infinitive and so forth, we now say, why do we use these words here? We are saying that the future can be expressed by going to plus infinity if the idea is of the intention. Going to and then plus infinity, we can still add that. It means that you have the intention of doing something.
Oh, wow.
That's very clear?
I don't know where it is.
Yes. I don't want your.
I don't know where they put them.
I don't want.
Because the Japan is not your fault. Maybe ask this guy.
I told you mute. I don't want to mute. I'm muting everybody. Okay. So we are saying that when you are using going to, means you have the intention of doing something. That's what it means. Going to plus infinitive means you have the intention of doing something. So we are looking at the future. Now, when you say we are going to have dinner at 8 o'clock, right. So when you say, for example, you have, we are going to have dinner. I hope you see very well. At 8 o'clock. That's the example we are giving of going to plus infinitive. When you say we are going to have dinner at 8 o'clock, she's going to leave school in June. She's going to leave school in June. That's the second one. You can write, I'm not writing on the blackboard, that one. She is going to leave school in June. Then the next one says, the house is going to fall down. The house is going to fall down. So these ones here, when we say we are going to have dinner, there is that intention. It shows the intention of having dinner. There is certainty. You predict, and then you tell us this is what is going to happen. So the time might not be that very exact time, but you have the intention. That's when we use going to plus infinitive. Now, going to construction is particularly common, as I said. It will take us to intention decisions. We use going to when we are also making decisions. So we shall get used to constructing sentences. When we are making decisions in the future, we are going to have dinner. You can use it for, number one, when you are making a decision, when you intend or you have the intention of doing something. That is how it goes about. Then we have now the use of will. If you say, I am hungry. If you say, I am hungry. Let's go back to the blackboard. If you say, I am hungry, full stop, I think I then will cook a meal, full stop. Now we have please, students, this is the short form of I am, like this. So I can use now this I am. This one here. This apostrophe here means there is a letter missing. This apostrophe here means there is a letter missing. All letters missing. Now, when you are writing on your WhatsApp, on Facebook, whatever, you have that problem of writing this. This does not exist in English language at all. It doesn't. What exists is when you change this one, I am. This one is the verb to be. They call it the verb to be, this one. So when this one is a personal pronoun, and it must always appear in capital letters. So we can change the format of the verb to be. That's when this one now comes, am I. That's how it comes. But in most cases, you people are using this to think that you are using writing the short form of I am. I am is like this in full. Am in short is this. Am I? If you are asking questions, am I going home now? It is this one. So get to know that. So now I have those two sentences. It says, I am hungry, and puts a full stop. I think I will cook a meal. Now, what does that one show when you say, I think I will cook a meal? So usually, this will here, in most cases, if you want to use it properly. The other one, we said, shows a decision. It shows, it could be a suggestion. It shows a possibility. Now, at times when we use will, it will refer to a condition. When somebody says, the first sentence was, I shall return your money tomorrow. And the other one says, I will return your money tomorrow. So it's now a condition. Like we said in the first one, it shows a must. This shall here, when you use shall, it will show a possibility, suggestion. You may not, you may do it, you may not do it. Especially when you use will together with and I to reflect what we call a condition, a must. So you have to do something. That's what it is. When you say, if you tell him the truth, he will be disappointed. Let's take an example. If you tell him the truth, if you tell him the truth, comma, he will be disappointed. This is how you begin telling lies because you don't want to disappoint people. You begin telling lies because you don't want to disappoint people. So now we have looked at the future tense and the future continuous. What do we mean by future continuous? When we have any verb with ing. That's why we are saying, I'm going to pay. Is that okay? That's I'm going to pay. That going there has ning. Then it will give us what we have called future continuous tenses. And then we have added on the rest. So will, condition, you can see, shall, possibility in this case. But as I said, the original meaning of will is used with he, she, they, you. Then shall has only two. That's the original one. But today the difference is not there at all. You may not see the difference at all when you use the now. The difference will come in when possibly you are making a condition. You can use will even on he and or even on we or I. You can use shall if you are suggesting something. That's what it means. Okay. Are we together? Are we now together? Akidi, do you have something to say? Marissa says yes, and so on and so forth. Now we have some activity. Let's have some activity. I'll have some activity here. There are not always very many numbers. The activity, first one says, complete the following sentences using Have we finished?
We are going just trying to.
You feel it?
Feeling going.
No,
Going to.
they are saying going to wherever possible and will or shall in other cases. So where going to goes, you use going to. And then will, where it does not go, then you choose between the two. No. Finished. Let me bring the next. Oh, Kaliebi. Good. Number 3. I'm going to stay. On the intention, okay? All right, now we go back to our work. And I am unmuting Patricia to tell us why the hand is up. Yes?
Excuse me, teacher. Teacher,
Yes,
I never
please.
understood. Did you mean we use will to mean, is it will we use to mean conditionless or?
No, that is why I have given you the exercise to test whether you have understood the explanation. That's
No,
very
teacher,
clear.
I was asking just to confirm whether what I wrote is correct. No, not as in the answer, as in what I saw on the chalkboard. Is it will we use to mean conditionless?
Now let us see. Let us go back to the instructions. Now complete the following sentences using going to wherever possible. What does that mean? That you have three alternatives. You have going to, you have will, and you have shall. We have 4 sentences. Can you look at them and see where am I going to put going to, where am I going to put will, and where shall I put shall? Now you go back to the notes we had, if you were looking at, if you were noting down very well. In the notes, when do we use going to? When do we use will? When do we use shall? That's what we looked at, the future and the future continuous tenses. Is that very clear? So, when do we use going to? Let me now start asking you. When do we use going to? Patricia, back to you. Just a moment. You give me no tones, okay? Patricia, when?
I think we use going to mean infinitive, like in an infinitive sentence.
No. Is that what I really said? Yes. When you have the intention.
Going to means intention.
Yes. You have the intention of doing something. That's when we use going to. I'm going to punch you. That means you have the intention of punching somebody. Is that very clear?
Yes. Yes.
We go to will now. When we use will, let me ask now. Navire, is it Navire? I've unmuted Navire. Yes. When do we use will? Navire, please.
Teacher, we use will in sentences with conditions.
Exactly. Which other word can we use to mean conditions? Still, Navire. Which other word can we use to mean condition?
Will.
I go to Najinda. I've unmuted Najinda. Yes?
Must.
Must. Thank you very much. So now, and when do we use shall?
When you're in a sentence with a possibility.
Thank you very much. Suggestion. You can suggest something. When you are suggesting, you use shall. When it is possible, use shall, and so forth. So now, let's go to number 1. It is very cloudy, and I'm sure, if it is very cloudy, is it a must? Is it a condition? Is it or something different? Which answer would we have for that one
it
there?
It sounds like a condition.
So it will. Thank you very much. So number 1 will take will. Is that very clear?
Yes, teacher.
Take will. So it is very cloudy, and I'm sure it will. This one is already sure. He's not doubting anything. That's why he says, I'm sure. So let's go to the next one. The next one says, he dash leave for England on Tuesday. What does that one therefore refer to? Nachitende. Nachitende, I've unmuted you. Nachitende with us? No?
Teacher.
So they are, yes?
He is going to leave for England on Tuesday.
He is going to leave for England on Tuesday. He's going to leave, which is okay. He is. It's not because some other circumstances can easily do what? Take place. Is that very clear? There might be some other circumstances that might take place. Number three. I'm looking at Bukenya. You have been unmuted. Yes, Bukenya.
I shall stay in this town for a month.
Really? Do you think that's the best answer? Really? Do you think? So let's have another one. Contributing, that is Marilyn.
I think for number 3, I will stay in this town for a month.
Supposing some things happen, what will happen? Yes? I am going to stay. This one is also going to stay. Is that very clear?
Yes.
I'm going to stay. This person has the intention of staying in this town here. Okay, the last one is number 4. Says the train. Yes. Good. Gloria, what do you have to say? Let me have who is this one? Yes. I don't know. Is it my soon or what? How do you pronounce your name?
My son. It's my son.
My soon. Thank you.
Yes. I think it is that train will take you to Lagos because a train has its specific schedules and.
The train will. That is the answer to that one. So we have in number 1 we have will. In number 2 we have going to. In number 3 going to, and in number 4 we have will. Can I add on? Let me see. So I have number 5, 2 more, and then we see what to do. So we have number 5. Number 5 says, he dash give you. Give you change. If you ask him, you ask him. Stop. Then number 6 says, let me look for one. We dash have more students next year. We'll stop. We are very many. We are about 65, but only very few people are putting up the hands. What's the problem? Okay, have we finished? Number 5. Let me see. Use of shall, no? Really will. So we go to number 5. Number 5, we have Nachitende. Nachitende, what do you have for us?
He will give you change if you ask him.
He will give you change if you ask him. He will give you. Supposing we say he is going to give you change, will it be good? Just wondering. There are people who are writing on, who are chatting. I don't know why. Can we put up the hands instead of writing? Marilyn? Yes, Marilyn. What do you have to say?
I think that Elisha is correct on number 5. According to me, will seems like the best.
Will.
Yeah,
so
will.
He has no problem.
Yes. Give a reason why. According to me, he will give you change if you ask him. If you ask him, he will give it to you.
Can you listen to somebody's contribution also? Yes.
He is not sure that he will give him change.
No, these are two different people. Okay. We have he now who is telling somebody you. Is that very clear? So that means there are 3 different people. There is somebody who has that change. Is that very clear? Somebody is talking on. The other one, this one here could be doubting. You get it? But this one is very sure. That's why we use will. So there are 3 people. There is you, there is he, and another person who has the change. So the one who is doubting could be this one. That's why he's not asking. Now this one here is very sure will give. So we will go here. Number 6. What about number 6? We go to who is giving us? This is Alia. This Alia. Alia.
This is Shufra.
Shufra?
I think we are going to have more students next year.
We are going to have, okay? Which is very true. We shall not use shall. Because we said shall suggests. Isn't it so? And this one are going to intention. So they intend to. They have something to do and then get what they want. That is now one of the exercises that we can. Now we are going to look at the future continuous. Future continuous. Because we are looking at the future continuous. We've been looking at the future. Now we want to see the future continuous. Number 1, he will be flying across the Sahara. Will fly across the Sahara. We will be flying across the Sahara at 2 o'clock. At 2 o'clock. Tomorrow afternoon. Tomorrow afternoon. We shall look at the sentence. He will be flying across the Sahara at 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Now, future tense. What do we mean by future continuous? It is used for activity or a state which begins before and continues after a point of the future. So, future continuous here. We use it for an activity or state which begins before. Begins before and begins before and continues. And continues after a point. After a point. After a point of the future time. Of the future time. I hope you can read that very well. Can you? I believe so. So now, we are saying he will be flying across the Sahara at 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Begins before and continues after a point of the future time. That's that activity there. So we have that one as an example. And then we are saying here the future simple would not be a suitable tense because the flight will obviously last longer than an instant. So if we wanted to use the future simple, it wouldn't happen at all. There is a hand from Bukenya here. Bukenya, what are you saying?
Teacher, I'm sorry for taking you behind, but like I wanted to ask a question about the activity, because I've realized like the small activity that you've given us, we haven't been applying the, okay, I don't know if it's a rule, but I won't call it a rule, the rule of English of I and we goes with shall, then you, he, she, they go with will. Should we not apply that rule when doing any other activity?
The rule is applied, okay? I told you when I was teaching you that in modern English, the rule is fading. Is that very clear? If I can read from this book, it says, firstly, we should note that in modern English, the distinction between will and shall for the future, for the pure future, has almost disappeared. For the pure future has almost disappeared. We can use will for any person when we simply want to indicate that an event will happen in the future. Are you getting me very well?
Yes.
So when it comes to the future and future continuous, I've given you when we use will, when we use shall, when we use going to. Is that very clear? Will in most cases will be used when it's a must. When it is a must, it surpasses, it throws away the rule of I, we, and then you, he, whatsoever. When it's a must, when it's a condition, it throws it away.
Yes.
Have you now understood very well?
Yes, I have. Thank you.
Please, you must feel free to ask. I am very happy. Now, when it is a must, it's a will. It has to be done. We use will. When it's a suggestion, whether you are saying he whatsoever, you use shall. And when we intend to do something, intention, going to. That's very clear.
Okay.
Okay, now we go back to the blackboard. Back to the blackboard, we are saying that in that sentence, we cannot use the simple future. We have to use the future continuous, because the activity, the flight will obviously last longer than an instant. It will last longer, and it is here, and continues after a point of the future time. So the person flying across, it will not be only once. It will take time, meaning the Sahara is not a short distance to cover it. That's why we are using this one here. I hope that one is okay. Then we shall be playing football. We have another one. This is number one. Number two, we shall be playing football. We shall be playing football at past. We shall be playing at past. For tomorrow. Past for tomorrow. Still we have now shall. Here we have he. The rule comes in now. Is that okay? We can now have he will be flying. We shall be playing. Now the rule is applied here properly. In the future, continuous. So when he arrives, that's number three. When he arrives, they will. When he arrives, they will be waiting. They will be waiting. They will be waiting at the railway station for him. Then number four, we shall have next Tuesday. Next Tuesday, we shall be taking our final exams. Examinations. Our final examinations. So we have Shifra asking a question before I explain. Yes, Shifra.
Excuse me, teacher. I would like to know, for example, number 2. They said we shall be playing football at past for tomorrow. I thought in case they give us some specific time and the person has the intention of doing it, we are supposed to use going to.
And the person has the intention. Let's see. Another person. And this is Alia. Yes, Alia. Ali, I've unmuted you. What do you have to say, Alia? Okay. I hope you are unmuted now. What's the problem? What about there? Okay. You think I'm talk?
Okay, my question. What was my question? Oh yes, I wanted to say that on number 4, that you've said next Tuesday we shall be taking our final examinations. Isn't there supposed to be any comma after next Tuesday, or it's not needed?
Okay. That is Alia, next Tuesday. There's no comma. That comma is the first one if you put it there. Next Tuesday we shall be, you cannot say next Tuesday we shall be, that is wrong sentence construction. Okay, now let us see the explanation from the book here. The explanation says the future. Let us begin with, he will be flying across the Sahara at 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Here, the future simple would not be a suitable tense, because the flight will obviously last longer than an instant. It will begin before and continue after 2 o'clock. Now, we shall be playing football. We shall be playing football. It is the same tomorrow at 4. So it will begin at 4 and continue. This is what we have. But now in this future continuous, we are going back to our rule. The other one was about the future alone. Now we are looking at the future continuous. The future alone, when we use shall condition, use what and blah, blah, like that. Future continuous is taking us to he with the we with the shall, he with. And then next Tuesday, we with shall. Am I confusing you a lot? There are 2 aspects. Number 1, we have the future. So our first explanation, we are looking at only the future. Now, number 2, we have future continuous. In the future, we have ignored our rules. In future continuous, we are bringing back our rules. I hope that is now properly understood. We are going to continue with, are you following? Good. We are now continuing with more examples. And they are saying here, the future continuous can also be used to indicate that an activity or state will be going on over a period of future time. Let me write that one. So we are looking at when to use future continuous. That's number one. Number two, when do we use it? It is also used. It is also used to indicate that the activity or state, will be going on over a period of future time, And we are giving an example. We are giving an example. Which is this example? I shall be working. I shall be working in the library. In the library all tomorrow morning. All tomorrow morning. That is, then my brother will be studying. My brother will be studying. My brother will be studying at the university next year. At the university next year. Next year. We can look at the two first to indicate that the activity or state will be going on over a period of the future time. Number two, the future time here is next year. It has not yet come, so it is the future. And the person will be studying. So when this person studies at university, it may not only take 1 year, 1 day, 1 week. So we go to future continuous. But because we are looking at my brother, the rule is there in the future will. I shall be working in the library all tomorrow morning. All will begin at a certain specific time, the whole morning. So meaning it will be going on for over a period of the future what? Time. The future time is tomorrow. And then the whole of tomorrow morning, the person will be working. That's when we use the future continuous. But we shall maintain our rules now. It is here where we have defined the rules. Is that okay? Now, the last one, last example I can give here is, the last example I will give here is, our teacher will. Our teacher will. Our teacher will be correcting. Be correcting examination papers. Examination papers. Examination papers all next week. All next week. Those are the examples that I have. Those examples. Now, we have 3 for number 2, 3 examples. And we are explaining that in such cases as the above 3, the future continuous is used for emphasis. It is used for emphasis. Future continuous is used for emphasis, and it would not be grammatically wrong to use the future simple. So in these ones, even the future simple can work, but this is what it is. Then the future continuous can be used instead of present continuous to show that an event has been definitely planned for. This one here, future tense, means future continuous, can be used, that's the next one, can be used instead of the present continuous to show that an event has been definitely planned for the future. For example, she will be leaving school in June. She will be leaving school in June. So it has already been planned before. We use the present, the future continuous. Future continuous, will, living. And then we have in June. June is yet to come. That is the future. June is yet to come. Okay. This is now for you. This is for you an activity. We have been looking at the future continuous. Future continuous. I want somebody to give us the 3 rules we have for the future continuous as you have been listening. Some people don't write. That's the problem. They wait for others. Now, Marilyn has participated very many times. I have not seen Angela. I have not seen Apio Cynthia. I have not seen Florence. I have not seen Muzani. What are you doing? Asimwe now. Oh, my battery has run low. We cannot now continue. Possibly we can have only one person. Your battery is running low. Let me have that person contributing very fast. I've unmuted somebody. The battery is low, it cannot now accept. Thank you very much. We shall begin from there. What I'm going to do, I may possibly post some activity. I'll tell people to post the activity. The battery cannot allow, I'm sorry. And then we were only remaining with 3 minutes to the end of the lesson. I wish you a nice week. Thank you. Now you. I can give you, but will you have the time to do some exercises? You can do exercise. Only 5 sentences. Then you give me the book, I will mark, okay? You are welcome, those ones who are thanking me. Thank you. Let's close